My warmest greetings to all the students, parents, teachers, and school administrators as we begin the academic year 2020 to 2021. The school opening is year of this year is a momentous occasion because it is pushing through despite global health crisis due to COVID-19. Indeed, nothing can get in the way of the instruction and formation of our learners, not even a pandemic. This time also ushers in a new era in our basic education program as we now ventured into distance and online learning. A challenging frontier not only for students and teachers, but for teachers, for guardians, and parents and guardians as well. I commend the Department of Education and its partners for guiding all stakeholders to make this happen. May this school year be marked with strong hopes and optimism that effective learning will make will take place rather even amidst the odds and challenges. Together, let us work to achieve a more informed, enlightened, inspired citizenry, starting with our children. I wish you all the best in your academic journey and mabuhay kayong lahat.
Una sa tanan, magpasalamat kita sa labawng makagkaon. Kay aniya paghihapon kita ug ang atong mga pamilya sa pagpadayon luyo sa hulga sa COVID-19. Sa atong mga tinahod nga mga magtutudlo ug mga empleyado sa tulunghaan, sa mga ginikanan ug mga estudyante, gikasubo nako nga aniya kita sa bag-ong hagit sa atong kinabuhi. Nasayod ako nga dili kini sayon para sa tanan. Gani wala may bisan kinsa nga andam og preparado ni ining pandemic. Apan mga kaigsuonan ko, hangyoon ko kamo nga magmadasigong kita taliwala ni ining tanan. Magkinabangay ug maminaw kita sa usag-usa. Hisay rin ninyo nga andam ako maminaw kaninyo. Sa pagsugod sa klase, atong itutok ang atong atensyon sa mga butang nga labing importante. Kaya natong atubangon ning bag-ong pamaagi sa pagtuon nga malaumon ug malipayon. Mga kaigsuonan ko, mag-iban kita.
Happy day! Mayong adlaw sa inyong tanan, mga magtutudlo. A good day to all of you, family of the Department of Education, my beloved teachers. On this occasion, I would like to greet all of you a very, very happy World Teachers Day. At this time, during the pandemic, you play an even more major role in ensuring that no learner is left behind, in ensuring that even with the difficulties of teaching nowadays during the pandemic, our learners will maximize their potentials. And the secret is in your hands. Kumbaga, teacher is the key. So, let me congratulate you as well as challenge you to come up with innovative measures, to come up with strategies to convey the lessons efficiently and effectively, given the very limited resources of our government today. The Almario family, starting off with my mother, Telma Almario, our former congresswoman, to my son, Councilor Chino Almario, chairman of the Committee on Education of the Sangguniang Panlungsod, and of course, my brother in public service, Councilor Roger Pabio, and myself, Mayo Almario, as your congressman of the 2nd District of Davao Oriental. We commit ourselves to education. And that is why I always say, mayong edukasyon para sa mayong kaugmaon. As I said, you are the key and we will be always partners in providing good education for all our learners. Congratulations, mabuhay kayo. Mayong adlaw, once again, it's the opening of classes for school year 2020-2021. It's October 5 for this year, and all of you know na first time na itabo na October 5 ang opening sa klase. And also, this is because, of course, of the COVID-19 pandemic. President Duterte found it wise to move classes from the usual schedule to today, opening of classes October 5, no? And everybody's having a difficult time. Ang atong mga magtutudlo, mga maestra at maestro, believe kay ko ninyo, kay bisan pa sa kalisod na ningkamot kihapon mo, kulang ang mga resources, kulang ang mga papel, mga copiers, mga kagamitan. Pero sa pagtambayayungay, pagtinabangay, kaya, ragya po nato ni. Ang iyong pabitaw sa akong anak, City Councilor Chino Almario, magtinabangay kita. No? Ang atong mga parents, labi na siguro ang mga inahan, mama o papa, mas pa ang mama nga nigahin og panahon sa pagtudlo sa ilang mga anak. Kunya kay stay at home, nasa balay, ang atong mga inahan, labi na itong mga nagtrabaho sa opisina, sa gobyerno, sa pribado, sa mga negosyo, mga bisan pa ang mga inahan na nasa mga kabukiran. Lisod ang pagkabutang nila, kaya for the first time, naanap po sila yung bagong role sa pagtudlo sa ilang mga kabataan. Partners na good karon ang atong mga teachers ug mga parents. So I salute all the parents time to help their children cope with school work, no? And sa atong mga kabataan, sa mga nag-eskwela, this is the time to shine. Ayaw mo kabalaka nga naaning problema sa pandemic, because it is not only in our place, it is worldwide. And sa talang na naglisod karon, now is your time to prove to yourselves, to your parents, to your school, na kaya ninyo ni. No? So, let me congratulate all of you for coming together and making sure nga ang mayong edukasyon para sa mayong kaugmaon magpadayon lang gihapon. Bisag unsa kalisod, no matter how difficult life is today, do not ever forget ang susi is mayong edukasyon para sa mayong kaugmaon. Make good in your studies and for sure a brighter future will come your way. Once again, congratulations. Keep safe, everybody. God bless.
of the Department of Education, and on my own, of course, on behalf also of our parents, our supporters, our officials, civic organizations, as well as individuals, our political leaders and supporters, we are truly honored and we welcome each and every one of the 24 million learners all over the country to this historic opening of classes for school year 2020 and 2021. For the past few months, our world has been filled with uncertainties as we face this unforeseen and hidden enemy. But each day brings new knowledge. Each day brings new solution. But at the same time, each day brings new challenges as well, new problems and new complications. The results and the impact of COVID-19, for example, cannot be measured only in terms of pesos and centavos. The greatest impact, of course, is on the learnings of our children, which have been postponed and which have been disrupted. We have the problem of physical distances or the quarantine as a major part of the COVID-19 containment, and it has disrupted all operations of the sectors of the economy, all sectors of the economy. In the context also of COVID-19, the concern over basic education is the magnitude of moving, congregating learners, teachers, and education personnel nationwide, because we are not only counting thousands or hundreds of thousands of people and of learners, but we count them by the millions and by the billions. And so this has been a great challenge to all of us. Basic education, as all of us know, directly accounts for nearly 30 million individuals. At this time, more than 24 million are formally enrolled, but we have the staff, we have the teachers, and we have, of course, the parents themselves, involving 61,923 schools, and not counting even the ancillary services supporting the education system, including transport, food, books, uniforms, and other services. The government right now is spending approximately 32.9 billion every month for salaries and some administrative costs, even as we are still preparing for the opening of school. And so we have not been spared from the impacts of the pandemic. Aside from the disruptive effect of pandemic on our educational system, we also need to consider the impact on the economy as well. Our enrollment from private school learners has been negatively affected, primarily because many of those who have jobs and have lost such jobs cannot support their children anymore in private schools. This has resulted in massive migration of learners from the public school, from the private schools, to the public schools, as well as migration of teachers also. And this has been a very difficult challenge for us to balance, because the Constitution provides for the provision both of public and private education as complementary to each other. But as we continue to confront the issues brought about by the pandemic, by the economy, and the varied impacts, we continue to repeat endlessly our call that no matter what happens, and I said this at the United Nations General Assembly, learning must continue and education cannot wait. Our children cannot wait. We cannot afford a delay of even 6 months to 1 year of the learning process, because we all know that the damage would be incalculable. This is why immediately after the government announced the series of community quarantines starting last March, we were instructed to close down our schools. After so much debate in the cabinet, as well as among our local governments who are our major supporters. The first thing that we did when classes were closed for the last academic year was that we wanted learning to continue. And we are determined to continue the learning process, pandemic or no pandemic, disruption of the economy or no disruption at all. And so we developed the learning continuity program. We spent a few months debating among ourselves as to how we can continue the process of learning and also continue bringing in children to the fold of the educational system, even as all these disruptions were going on. And so we had these following principles. Our first consideration is to protect the health, the safety, and well-being of learners, teachers, and personnel, and prevent the further transmission of COVID-19. Our President, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, has been very firm and has put this forward as his non-negotiable stance insofar as the opening of classes are concerned. Health, safety, and well-being of teachers, of learners, and of personnel. Second is to ensure continuity of learning. We all know that even 2 months, 3 months of delays in the learning process will have incalculable damage. Third, we also had to make sure or to facilitate the safe return of our learners and teachers to school when face-to-face classes will already be allowed by our president. Fourth, and this is very, very important, we want to be sensitive to equity considerations. The shift to other methodologies of learning, the shift to other approaches of transmission of learning has strong equity considerations in terms of requirements of facilities, of tools, of books, and gadgets which are necessary to facilitate such shift and change. And finally, we have to link and bridge our original pre-COVID policy of pivoting to quality. Even as we decided to continue the learning process, we also are determined to hold on to our policy of educalidad or quality education. And so we agreed on the blended learning approach to the transmission of learning to our children. Blended learning is not exactly new. It's not a new invention. It's not created by this administration in the Department of Health. This has been going on for decades and has been introduced for quite some time in education. The difference is that greater emphasis now is on the blended aspect. The difference is that while blended learning always includes face-to-face sessions with the students, this time, for this particular period, we are introducing blended learning without the face-to-face component. And of course, this is a challenge for us. Therefore, we would like to express our appreciation to the 24 million learners, some of whom have been writing me and telling me, Secretary, these are the 9-year-olds, the 8-year-olds saying, Secretary, I want to go back to school. I want to be in a class again. To the parents, perhaps easily 48 to 50 million parents who accept the fact and who are urging us to continue teaching our learners. To the government, especially our president, who promised to even scrape the bottom of the financial barrel, if only to support all our initiatives for blended learning, except face-to-face at this time. To the legislature, which is now looking very carefully at the budget of the Department of Education and finding ways to support all our efforts. To the various institutions, international, local, who have given their help, their advice, and their encouragement. To civic organizations of professionals, of concerned citizens who have nonetheless continued their tradition of giving aid to our efforts in the Department of Education. And most important of all, the parents. And even equally important, the people, the individuals in the Department of Education family, starting with our teachers who have articulated again and again that the reason why they are teaching is to serve the country, to serve the learners. The reason why they are staying is not necessarily for material reasons. They're staying because they're concerned about our learners. All of us want to continue the process of education for the sake of our learners. And we thank not only, in addition to our teachers, to our staff, we also thank our officials in the Department of Education, who for the past 6 months have been working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, lacking in sleep, continually meeting, continually exchanging experiences, trying out new approaches, coming out with also many strategies, because right now there is no one size which fits all. The approach of the schools differ one from the other. And I thank all of them for coming together, for bearing with all the challenges, because our children need to be supported. And so, as we open another school year, a historic school year, a victorious school year, because in spite of all the pressures to discontinue the learning process, in spite of all the criticisms, the curses, the screams, and the shouts, 24 million learners still want to go to school. 50 million parents still want their children to go to school. And 900,000 teachers want to stay and continue teaching our learners, as well as hundreds of thousands of staff of the Department of Education who have pushed themselves to the limit during the past few months to come out with appropriate responses and solutions to these challenges. And of course, we are also consumed by fear, because who does not fear COVID? Who does not fear a double-digit downturn in the economy? But to cite a short quote from one of my very favorite books, which is June, which is coming out by Frank Herbert, which is coming out in a movie soon. The fear is there, but beyond fear itself, destiny awaits. Our destiny is an educated people, educated learners, and a great nation and country. Thank you.
Sa lahat ng sambayan ng Pilipino, lalo na ang mga Davaoenyo, we are finally opening the school year. It has been a challenging journey for all of us in the Department of Education. The closing ceremonies of school year 2019-2020 were only done virtually as the fear of the coronavirus was slowly crippling the country and the whole world. The opening of classes for school year 2020-2021 that usually starts on the first Monday of June was moved to August 24 and later moved again to October 5. And now, this is the date. Deep in our hearts, we are waiting for this day to come. I know that we are still excited to be back even if the challenges of this pandemic are not over yet. Education is part of our system. It plays a great role in the development of our culture. And above all, education is more than school. A school is a specific place, but education can take place anytime and anywhere and with anyone. Education can occur in any setting, and any experience that has a formative effect on the way one thinks, feels, or acts may be considered educational. This is where we are heading to in this opening of classes. We do not have face-to-face interaction yet inside the classroom, but our learning continues. For our teachers, I believe that you are ready to face new challenges in this school year. The system is something new for all of us. This is the time to learn, unlearn, and relearn. You are learning to adapt to the circumstances, and you are learning to let go of those that aren't so essential now. Let us strip the old ways so we can acquire a new layer of fresh learning. It is true that teachers become better when they voluntarily and constantly take steps to develop their knowledge and skills. For our beloved learners, may you not be discouraged of this different system where you can be with your classmates, friends, and teachers. This is just temporary, although this could be the start of something new. Trust the magic of beginnings. When you begin to feel comfortable with learning with modules or gadgets, then you are allowing yourself to grow. A famous speaker once said, "You can only grow if you are willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable when you try something new." Yes, this is new for all of us, but this is something that would bring out the best in all of us. The school year 2020-2021 will bring great potentials. For the meantime, let us enjoy this new way of teaching and this new phase of learning. Let us all together grow. Let us all together learn. Let us all experience the best moments of our life. So all of us in the Department of Education, together with all our partners and stakeholders, may the opening of classes be the start of more collaboration and support for the better future of the young. God bless us all.
To our Honorable Governor Nelson Inday Hiram, the Honorable Vice Governor Linio Sotero Uy, the members of the House of Representatives, Honorable Corazon Luis Malanyao, and Honorable Mayon C. Almario, to the Honorable members of Sangguniang Panlalawigan, to the Honorable Mayors and Vice Mayors, as well as the members of the municipal councils, to the Honorable Barangay Captain and the members of the Barangay Council, together with the Board of Leaders, to our Regional Director, Ma'am Evelyn Calvero, to our Assistant Regional Director, Ma'am Maria Ines Asuncion, to our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Genevieve Francis Katie, the CID Chief and the SDOD Chief, to our PTA Federation President, Sir Kibu, to the school principal of the Full Vocational High School, Sir Chris Valley, and all the teachers of the school and all the teachers of the province, to the parents, and most especially to the learners, school heads, and the teachers, usa ka mayong buntag sa inyong tanan. First of all, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks and appreciation to everybody for assisting DepEd in our preparation for school year 2020-2021. The support we give to the Department of Education in whatever form, like provision of printers, provision of bond papers, provision of Wi-Fi modem, toner, ink, is very much appreciated. Secondly, I also would like to express my congratulations to all our school heads and the teachers for doing everything to make education possible despite this public health emergency. I know how much effort you exerted in mobilizing resources just to have our self-learning modules ready for our students. I also wish to express my special thanks to the team of Ma'am Susan Salazar for rendering overtime services for more than a month, just to make sure that everybody is provided the necessary support, the self-learning modules, especially for the schools, without maintenance or other operating expenses fund yet. No? I know how everybody cooperated, kaya daghang kayong salamat sa atong mga ginikanan, sa atong mga donors, sa atong mga alumni association, sa atong mga PTA, Parent Teachers Association, and everybody who made significant contribution to the Department of Education for our preparation for this very big day as we start the school year 2020-2021. For education to succeed in these trying times, we need more than ever the continued support of everyone, and most of all, the guidance of our Almighty Father as we journey together this school year 2020-2021. We hope in our hearts that we will be able to provide education and come out winners after our battle with this COVID-19 and become more resilient, more kind, more considerate, and more prayerful. Manghinaot ko nga padayon ang atong pagtinabay alang sa kaugnaon sa atong mga kabataan. May God bless us all.